In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on October 15, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. James Madison versus Georgia Southern. James Madison heads to Georgia Southern on Saturday, October 15th. The Dukes bring their undefeated record on the season to Statesboro. The Eagles are winless against Sun Belt competition as they have lost back-to-back games. James Madison is looking for their 4th win in the conference against the Eagles. James Madison is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games and 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games on grass. The over is 4-0 in James Madison's last 4 games. Georgia Southern is 11-4 against the spread in their last 15 home games and 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 games. The under is 4-1 in Georgia Southern's last 5 home games. In its first season as an FBS team, James Madison is undefeated and now ranked in the AP Top 25 for the first time in program history. The Dukes are 3-0 against Sun Belt competition and 5-0 against the spread this season. A come-from-behind road victory at Appalachian State was certainly impressive, but so were their past 2 wins over Texas State and Arkansas State, which were both by 20-plus points. JMU is proving it will be a force to be reckoned with in its new conference, and Georgia Southern is set to be the latest to get an introduction. The Eagles are having an up-and-down season that includes an upset victory over Nebraska. However, a pair of losses in the past 2 games kept them winless in conference play. The big issue for Georgia Southern is a shaky defense that's allowing 35 points per game to FBS teams and 452.8 total yards per game. The defense has especially struggled to stop the run, giving up 222.8 rushing yards per game and 5.59 yards per carry. That is a big worry against a JMU offensive attack that boasts one of the best ground games in the country, averaging 213.8 rushing yards per contest. The run-oriented offense includes 3 talented running backs, with dual-threat QB Todd Centeio adding another weapon. The Dukes can maintain and lengthen a lead with this ground-and-pound approach. It worked in the past 2 games as they covered as double-digit favorites in both. On the other side, Georgia Southern has a dangerous offense itself with strong passing and running games. However, the JMU defense has been tough on opponents this season, allowing just 15 points per game with the best statistical run-stopping unit in the country. So the James Madison Dukes to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. James Madison will score points against Georgia Southern. The only question is, can the Eagles keep up with the visitors? The Eagles average 37 points per game, which rank 28th in the nation, but the under is 4-1 in their last 5 home games. I think that the Dukes are going to put up at least 42 points on their hosts, as the over is 4-0 in their last 4 games. Georgia Southern should put up 28 points in the game with their aggressive passing attack. We know that the Eagles are having defensive issues, but their offense is no joke. They have one of the best passing teams in the nation, and that from a program that used to run the gun option and all sorts of variations over the years. They are averaging 32 points in their last 3 games and put up 45 against Nebraska. The Dukes have gone over in 4 straight games and did allow Appalachian State to score 28 points all in the first half on September 24th. This should be a shootout. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Wisconsin versus Michigan State. Week 7 of the 2022 college football season brings the Big Ten Conference showdown from Spartan Stadium in East Lansing, Michigan, where the Michigan State Spartans welcome the Wisconsin Badgers. These 2 schools meet each other for the first time since 2019, and Wisconsin shoots for its 3rd consecutive straight-up and against the spread victory over Michigan State. The Badgers are 13-6 against the spread in their last 19 games on grass and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 conference games. The Spartans are 7-2 against the spread in their last 11 home games and 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games overall. The over is 4-0 in Badgers' last 4 games overall. The under is 5-2 in Spartans' last 7 games overall. The underdog is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 meetings. The struggling Spartans of Michigan State look to turn things around when they they play host to the Wisconsin Badgers on Saturday evening. MSU is still searching for its first conference victory of 2022 after falling again last week to Ohio State. Dealing with a plethora of injuries, the Spartans haven't really been in sync at any point this year, but they have shown a toughness and an ability to not beat themselves. They're averaging just 6 penalties and have 4 total turnovers in 3 conference games. Much like their opponent in this one, Wisconsin has also been extremely underwhelming to this point. The Badgers have really struggled against any team with an offense that has any sort of competence, evidenced by allowing over 34 points a game to Washington State, Ohio State, and Illinois. Offensively, last weekend was just the second time this season when quarterback Graham Mertz didn't have at least 1 turnover. Neither of these teams have been that good this year, but this should be a hard-fought battle down to the wire between squads hoping to somewhat salvage their seasons. The Badgers are just 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 games overall, including a lousy 1-3 away from home during that stretch. The Spartans, meanwhile, sport a solid 6-2 against the spread record at home in their last 10 outings and will be itching to right the ship. They play hard no matter what and are in a good spot to do something positive at home. The Wisconsin Badgers are probably the better team, with an above-average defense and an offense that showed signs of life last week. The Michigan State Spartans are free-falling because of an offense that can't get out of their own way, and the defense is suffering because of it. With all that said, Wisconsin isn't nearly as good as it's been in years past, and this is back-to-back road games for the Badgers. Issues or not, Michigan State competes and plays hard, and the fan base always shows up. That's enough for me. Michigan State might not come out with a win, but there's no reason this game shouldn't at least be close. So the Michigan State Spartans to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Aside from last week's contest against a really bad Northwestern team, Wisconsin has averaged a measly 15 points against Power 5 competition this season. The Spartans haven't been great on defense by any stretch of the imagination, but if they can force the turnover-prone Mertz into some giveaways, they should be able to keep the Badgers from putting up any sort of outrageous number on the scoreboard. Michigan State has now gone 3 games in a row with 20 or fewer points, and a lot of their yardage and points against Washington came in garbage time. They've looked completely out of sorts offensively and shouldn't be too much of a threat to score a bunch in this one. The under is 6-3 in MSU's last 9 games overall and 4-1 in their last 5 at home. The Spartans have only scored 40 points over the last 3 weeks, and with a bit of help from their defensive unit, I'm expecting them to struggle in Week 7 once more. The Badgers shut down Northwestern in Week 6, and as a former defensive coordinator, Jim Leonhard will demand more from his boys. Hereof, I'm going with the under on the totals even though the Spartans' defense has been terrible lately. In a matchup between 2 below-average offenses, this game ends up being a low-scoring affair. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Arizona versus Washington. Husky Stadium could see quite the air show as the Pac-12 seconds 2 top quarterbacks and 2 of the best in the country go head-to-head when Washington hosts Arizona. The Wildcats enter having alternated wins and losses since the first game, their last outing a 49-22 loss to No. 12 Oregon. The Huskies were unable to mount a comeback versus Arizona State last week, losing 45-38, their second straight loss since starting the since 4-0. This game features 2 quarterbacks in the top 10 for passing yards in the country and 2 teams desperate to get on the positive side of the Pac-12 standings, so expect big numbers and big plays. Arizona is 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 conference games. Washington is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 home games. The over is 9-4 in the last 13 meetings played between the 2 teams. Arizona is 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 meetings against Washington. The over is 5-2 in the Wildcats' last 7 games after allowing more than 450 total yards in their previous game. The Wildcats have beaten San Diego State, North Dakota State, and Colorado this season but have struggled against opponents capable of exposing their pass defense, as seen in their 22-point loss to Mississippi State, 18-point loss to California, and a 27-point loss to Oregon. Both of these offenses have played well, but the Washington offense also has been a little better. The Huskies have not been great defensively, allowing 5.7 yards per play, but much better than the 6.5 yards per play that the Wildcats are giving up. Coming off of consecutive road losses, I see the Huskies bouncing back at home where they are 4-0 against the spread this season. With the Huskies back home, they are 4-0 against the spread this season. Arizona gave up 49 points in the last game, and Washington is going to have no issue running up the score. Michael Penis Jr. is going to throw for over 300 yards again, and this is going to be an easy W for Washington. Washington is going to win by at least 21 points, so the Washington Washington Huskies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both of these teams rank in the top 10 in offensive passing yards per game and are in the top 25 in plays ran per game. Washington has also scored at least 39 points in 5 out of 6 games, with their defenses also allowing at least 40 points in back-to-back weeks. The Wildcats have allowed 49 points against both California and Oregon, and I don't see them stopping Michael Penix Jr. and the high-powered Huskies offense. It is a hefty mark, but Washington has had 6 of their games go over this season, and Arizona has seen 4 of their 6 hit the over as well. Plus, there is the expectation that this will be a true back and forth shootout, with both defenses allowing points by the bucket load and both offenses airing it out in big ways. On average, the two teams are allowing a combined 61 points per game and scoring a combined 71.8. When they face each other, those numbers should only go up, so nail the over. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.